Hello and welcome inside the corner, your University of South Dakota Coyote Corner video blog here on MidcoSN.com. I'm Alex Heinert alongside Jay Elsen. And Jay, it's been an interesting start to the football season for USD.
Yeah, it absolutely has. Not only do you go out and you play Oregon, one of the premier programs in all of college football, you go out there, and I thought they represented themselves well.
Yeah.
So they could bring some of that positivity back with them. But obviously the biggest story coming out of it is the situation at quarterback and Kevin Earl's injury to his throwing hand, and certainly that's a developing story, I guess, as we go forward over the next several weeks.
That was an injury that happened in the third quarter of that Oregon game. It's probably been pretty well documented by now, but just talk about what happened there. What's the prognosis?
It sounds like he was just throwing over the top and came down on a helmet, and that happens. I mean, Joe Glenn said it himself. It's one of those things. It's part of the game, and there's nothing you can do about it. Every so often, it just guys run into that, and so he broke a bone in his thumb, and the timetable right now is 6 to 8 weeks, and so that's a long, long time. And an unfortunate way to start your season, losing your starting quarterback especially after everything coming out on him was so positive. He'd taken every rep in spring ball, taken all the reps with the ones pretty much in fall ball as well. And so, I mean, this was a guy that was ready to go. A lot was said about his maturity, not only as a football player and as a quarterback, but as a leader.
As a leader, he was the leader of that offense.
Yeah, he voted a team captain. And so, I mean, it's just you feel terrible for Kevin. First and foremost, you got to feel bad for him because he's put a lot of work into this. But, unfortunately, it seems harsh, but you got to take the approach next man up. Ryan Saeger is the next man up.
Yeah, and Saeger becomes the guy now here in week 2 against William Penn. He's a redshirt sophomore kid from Wisconsin.
That's right.
A place you know a little bit about. What have you seen from Saeger so far, either in fall camp or at the last quarter and a half or so against the Ducks?
Obviously when we're running around here getting all our preseason stuff, we're looking at the ones and the guys that we know are going to start. But you can't help but notice Saeger out there because he does get a little work with the ones. And I thought he could spin it. I thought he throws a nice ball. He's just young. He's a guy that's learning. Seems intelligent. We talked to him after the game in Oregon the other night, and I was very impressed with just the kind of confidence that oozes off of him. It's not cockiness, just confident. And every coach wants their quarterback to be a confident guy, and he's that. He seems to be intelligent, which is important also at that position. I think he seemed poised. When he came into the game, he came in first series 3 and out. Probably not unexpected, but then the next drive led him right down inside the 5-yard line. They're just unable to finish that drive off, but an impressive way to march that team down the field. That's Oregon's second defense he did that on. That's different than a normal second defense. So, I think, he showed some things. Long way to go. It's totally different to prepare and get yourself ready mentally as the starter as opposed to coming in off the bench. That's his next challenge.
Coach Glenn had mentioned that Saeger reminds him a little bit of Kevin Earl. He's kind of a similar player. He's a big kid. What does he do well from what you've seen so far? What are his skill sets?
He's not as big, and I don't think he throws it as hard. Kevin's a gunslinger. I mean, he's got a big arm. That being said, I thought he showed some good presence in the pocket. He showed he can move, which is, important at times. You like a guy that's not just strictly a pocket passer, a guy that can extend some things with his legs, maybe even get you a first down here or there. And Ryan could do that. Joe pointed out that he scored 14 touchdowns in his senior year of high school. And he played at a very, very prestigious program in Wisconsin, Heartland Arrowhead. Very good program, perennial state contender. And so he's got experience, at least on that level, in the big situation. So, I think, again, it's a work in progress, but I think he's got some tools that the Coyotes can use. And Joe says they're not going to change anything. They're going to run the offense just like they want to run it. And so I think that's a good sign that they're not going to change anything and tinker with it enough just to try and match it up with his strengths. They're going to do what they do.
It'll be interesting to see how he responds, how the team responds. They get a test of sorts now with a new quarterback against an NAI school in William Penn coming up here in a couple of days, because it will be Ryan Saeger's team more than likely for the next 6 to 7 weeks. If you're curious, looking ahead, right around the end of October 25th, might be a chance for Earl to come back. That's North Dakota State.
Yeah, what a game to try and shoot for, right? I mean, and after that, it's Youngstown. So it's, tough either way. But, if you're not a quarterback, maybe there's a chance. If it's not your throwing hand, maybe there's a chance. But in all likelihood, it's looking like the end of October, early November for Kevin Earl. So Ryan Saeger's going to get a chance, at least for the next month and a half, 2 months, to be the guy. And William Penn, we joked about it after the game. This game went up exponentially in importance. Just because he's going to get a chance to get out there again, plan for a week to be the starter, get himself game ready, and go out there and try to lead this team and help them improve. And quarterback is not the only spot they want to do that in.
Right.
They want to do that all over the field, and get back to just get in, get a win it heavily, as Joe Glenn put it, just as they're expected to do, and that's all important to them.
A game that became a whole lot bigger just in the last couple of days, coming up this Saturday here on Midco Sports Network. You and Andre Fields with the call. Should be a lot of fun from the Dakota Dome. Be sure to tune in. I believe a 2 o'clock kickoff. Yep. So tune in here on MidcoSN. Check out more stuff from the corner here online. For Jay Elsen, I'm Alex Heinert. We'll be back in a bit with more on the corner.